Chosen one, grasp the truth of your own self. A moment approaches, indeed it has already arrived, when those who doubted your perceptions will start to voice the very understandings you carried. For a long time, what you knew was set aside, like a voice speaking but never truly heard. You offered a straightforward view, a plain way forward, yet they chose to ignore it, uninterested in the course you made plain. The direction you shared, they brushed off, only to land themselves exactly where you had shown they would be. Now, events unfolding are recalling your words to their minds, proving them true in a way that truly surprises them. Humans have a strange habit. They often miss the truth until its effects cannot be ignored. It is a repeating way with people. They only take in true awareness once they have lived through the hardship of ignoring it. You gave clear insight freely, yet they chose the heavy burden of their own lack of clarity instead. However, what is happening now is different. Your profound understanding isn't just resurfacing, it is shaking their minds. Your words did not vanish, they rested within their minds, patiently waiting for life's moments to show their correctness. Now, with events playing out exactly as you saw them, people are looking at their world, questioning themselves. Did you not speak of this exact thing? Yes, my child, you did. You presented it many times, with quiet certainty and with a firmness you might now doubt within yourself. A quiet weight settles when you see others finally understand what you always held as true. These unfolding events do not surprise you. They surprise others. You moved from a space of clear insight. They moved from what they hoped for, from turning away, and from believing things would not be hard. The unease they now experience is the exact moment they grasp that they didn't just wrongly judge you. They completely misread their own circumstances. This is how matters unfold when a truth appears before the world around it is ready to take it in. This is what happens when your own deep awareness becomes impossible to deny. This is when your profound understanding becomes solid evidence. So, let us look carefully at why there is this sudden attention to your perception, why they now echo the warnings you gave earlier, and why they seem to act as if they always saw things your way. For we both remember this was not their first reaction. Firstly, my precious one, they thought your words came too soon, failing to grasp that you spoke from a steady truth that reached beyond their immediate sight. People often believe truth must fit perfectly with the timing they prefer to be accepted. If a clear sight comes before they are ready, they call it exaggerated. If it shows up before their situation turns hard, they name it discouraging. And if it goes beyond what they currently understand, they set it aside as too much thought. This was often where you stood. You were not just giving simple warnings, you were showing small parts of what lay ahead. Still, because your clear understanding didn't align with their comfort, they saw your exactness as a weight, not a helpful revelation. The truth is, my child, your words came from a place deeper than they had reached. Your inner awareness saw links that their usual thinking had not even started to see. You distinguished the actions, the repeating patterns, the quiet forces, the hidden emotions, and the results long before they came to be. For you, this was not a mere guess, it was complete clarity. To them, it appeared you exaggerated things they thought held little weight. Now that exact situation they ignored has entered their lives, fully present and needing their full focus. It is worth noting how often people declare, "If only I had understood, I would have made a different choice." But the reality, my precious one, is they did know. You told them. They simply had trouble accepting that someone they had not valued highly held insight they themselves did not have. They brushed aside your words, clinging to the idea that by ignoring your deeper awareness, they could stop certain results from showing up. Such a way yields nothing good. Truth does not disappear just because it is turned away. Their present regret comes from a silent knowing that you weren't just ahead of time. You were one with what is real. Only now do they grasp what was plain to you all along, making them reconsider every time they dismissed you. The jokes they made, the casual setting aside of your clear sight, the thought that you worried too much. All these recollections now come back to them with a strong effect, not because they are simply checking who was right, but because they are finally facing the fact that what they set aside was not just your opinion. They were turning from a truth that was revealing itself, a truth they were not ready to meet. Now that this truth has shown up exactly as you described, they see their real mistake was not in doubting your words. It was in missing the profoundness of who you truly are. Secondly, chosen one, your insight created discomfort. This happened because it uncovered the simple deceptions others had taken on to stay calm. Some truths are taken in easily. Others bring a deep shock. Your wisdom was not a shallow thing. It revealed the untruths people had built around their lives for safety. You did not lessen what was real or avoid facts that were hard to admit. You spoke in a way that stirred discomfort because your words were more than just comments. They mirrored deeply, showing people what was within them. And when faced with such a mirror, the first urge is often to turn away, especially when what is shown questions the stories they lean on for ease. People don't just turn from clear sight, they turn from the inner look it demands. They set aside what you knew, not because your knowing was faulty, but because it forced them to rethink the beliefs that shaped their lives. Comfort is often found in partial truths and in choosing not to see. Your profound knowing questioned all these things. Every time you offered your sight, you shone a light on what others tried to hide. That light has grown now, so vast they can no longer turn from what it shows. How things have changed is plain to see. They only grasp the truth at this moment, for it is unmistakably present. My child, the exact things you spoke of are now happening just as you knew they would. How they ignored what you said before now lays bare their own weaknesses. They wanted life to just agree with them gently in a way that suited them. But instead, life spoke for you, chosen one. This has caused them greater unease than they could have imagined. What moves inside them is more than just regret for what they did. It is the clear knowing that they themselves brought about their own unwise choices. They cannot blame you for your clear sight, as you never set out to point out their mistakes. My precious one, your aim was simply to keep them from unnecessary trouble. They failed to understand the strength of a spirit that speaks only truth, with no need for itself to be seen. Now this realization comes upon them with undeniable strength. Your wisdom was not rejected for being hard to grasp. It was unwelcome because it was exact, firm, and forced them to face facts they were not ready to see. And as they now stand before these facts, they finally see the cost of disregarding someone whose thoughts came from clear understanding, while their own sought only comfort. Chosen one, what you saw so clearly they once dismissed as simply unfounded concern, until the path of life itself showed you were right. Others often struggle to tell honest caution from fear, which is why they ignored your deep understanding for so long. Every time you pointed out a troubling situation, brought forth quiet warnings, or showed them hidden aims, they labeled it as groundless fear, too strong a response, or simply unnecessary doubt. They could not understand that your insight did not come from worry. It came from a profound grasp of how things would happen and behaviors they chose to overlook. You knew what was true long before they could feel it, making your clear vision seem doubtful, almost too much in their eyes. But real seeing carries its own calm presence. My child, this kind of sight does not ask for leave, nor does it wait to be accepted. You watch things unfold, recognizing the signs while others laughed, ignored, or simply put them aside. Then, what was meant to happen, happened. The exact situations you had seen began to appear step by step, just as you had laid them out. All at once, what they named your overthinking was proven to be no such thing. Every warning, every glimpse ahead, every watchful eye was confirmed, and their unwillingness to trust became a quiet, inner remorse. My precious one, they had simply been wrong, and there was no way to deny that fact. What deepens this moment is that your clear knowing does more than just correct errors. It uncovers. Others are now forced to confront their own misguided choices and their lack of regard for the knowing within you. They now understand that while they were busy doubting your intentions, you were led by truth, by a path of sound judgment, and by insight that comes only from looking past what is visible. Their doubts about you are no longer concealed. It is now plain to see in the way things happened, in the outcomes, and in the final state of affairs, which they cannot dispute. My child, your sharp sight was never meant for entertainment or for earning praise. It was placed within you to protect, to light your way, and to see what was coming. They did not understand this at the time, for they were not ready to see truth unvarnished. Now, as life itself shows them proof of what you had already seen, they find themselves in a reality they did not want. What they once scoffed at was exactly what could have saved them from mistakes, unwise choices, and opportunities lost. And that profound knowing, it brings a deeper ache than any open argument ever could. Chosen one, your calm insight was too plain for those who always looked for noise and to feel important. You never had to shout to make your point, nor create chaos to seem important. You held within you a quiet, deep understanding that simply was, asking for no attention. It simply was, my child. And such pure truth is unsettling for those who flourish in constant turmoil. They rely on strong feelings, exaggeration, and distraction to stay in control, or to stop others from seeing who they truly are. Your plain understanding cut through it all, and this caused them much unease. They could not hide behind excuses, clever tricks, or their common falsehoods, because your calm presence showed what they wanted to keep secret. Those who seek unending activity find stillness hard to bear, for in stillness, truth comes into view. Chosen one, your understanding did not fit with their disorderly ways. Instead, it stripped them bare. They wanted things to be unclear, for uncertainty protects their pride. It stops people from being accountable. It lets false stories persist. It keeps their cunning plans working. But you brought clear sight, honesty, and understanding into spaces that thrived on lies. And this made you appear a threat, long before you even knew it. The core reason they misunderstood you was their belief that true insight must come with great show. They believed the loudest person in a group must be the smartest. The one who showed the most outwardly must feel the most strongly, and the most complex must be the deepest. Yet you were untangling whole problems with a gentle thought or a quiet understanding. They did not grasp how to see someone who did not need attention to make a deep impact. Now they see the truth they tried so hard to avoid. Your clear vision, My precious one, was not gentle. It was exact. The reality of things unfolded before them, whether they wished to see it or not. The hard truth they now grasp is this: they did not pull away from you because you were without worth. They withdrew because your simple, clear truth brought their own inner confusion into view. Your deep awareness caused them to look inward. And that, chosen one, is something those driven by self-regard will always resist, until the fundamental course of things gives them no alternative. Now they finally understand why you stood apart. Your insight was not a pretense, it was honest. It was not a racket, it was precise. And the simple knowing they once overlooked is now the very quality they wish they had listened to much earlier. Chosen one, your choices were beyond the grasp of others, because you were moved by deep patterns they were not prepared to see. People often judge what they do not understand. When you pulled away, they took it as strange behavior. When you stopped engaging with certain individuals, they judged you as overly dramatic. When you turned your life in a new direction, they murmured you were adrift. What they never grasped was that your choices came from profound understanding, not fleeting desires. You were seeing patterns, subtle currents of influence, and quiet changes they simply could not perceive. You were not just reacting to events. You were responding, my child, to a knowing that was present but hidden from their sight. My child, your inner knowing was more than a mere feeling. It contained a calm understanding, a deep awareness, not always evident to others. You linked subtle signs without a word, saw actions with clarity, and sensed patterns before they fully appeared. While others only saw what was directly before them, chosen one, you perceived the broader path ahead. You did not simply wait for problems to emerge. You felt the quiet shift in the atmosphere long before any clear indication surfaced. This made your choices seem peculiar to those who only believe what is apparent. My precious one, your time spent in quiet was not a defeat. It was a necessary return to your inner balance. Your pulling back was not driven by fear. It came from clear insight. Your sudden changes in direction were not signs of confusion. They were precise adjustments. You moved away from certain individuals because their true intentions were shifting, even if their words remained constant. In your spirit, the connection had already come to an end, though they continued to act as if it had not. You chose a different course because the path you were on no longer fit with the future that was unfolding for you. Nothing in this was random, my child. It was all deeply intended. Now, as what you left behind dissolves and what you chose moves steadily into its rightful place, the wisdom of your decisions shines clearly. Those who once questioned you are now quietly seeking to grasp the extent of your insight. Their regret stems from seeing they misjudged one who lived with a deeper understanding than they could fathom. You were not led by mere feelings, chosen one. You were guided by unseen currents. While others demanded solid evidence before accepting truth, you acted from quiet certainty. This is why they are now so taken aback. Your choices were never intended for the understanding of those who do not share your access to a more profound knowing wisdom. My child, people did not trust your words because they confused your calm nature for a lack of understanding. A quiet spirit is often overlooked by those who measure knowing by loud statements and outward displays. You did not raise your voice. You felt no need to guide discussions, nor did you feel compelled to constantly explain yourself. You paid keen attention. You heard with full presence. You weighed everything carefully. You spoke only when it truly counted. To those who only glimpsed this, quiet assurance seemed like frailty, like an absence of clear thought. like someone unable to voice their position. They mistook your stillness for emptiness. They saw your quiet reserve as a failure to grasp. The truth, chosen one, is that your humble nature was your shield, not a drawback. You had no need to show your wisdom, for your grasp of things was deep and clear to you. It did not look for approval from others. You held your knowing gently, with calm patience, letting things unfold to show its truth over time. That steady calm and inner quiet made you seem unexceptional to those who seek constant noise. But now, my precious one, as what has happened perfectly mirrors your insights and actions, they struggle to understand what they once ignored. The way things have turned out holds a sharp lesson. The very qualities they missed, your silent observation, your thoughtful holding back, your refusal to enter into trivial arguments, are now the very things they wish they had. They now try to copy your inner peace. Chosen one, their sudden interest in your calm goes deeper than simple admiration. They are wrestling with a starker truth. What stings them now is not just that they were wrong, but that the very path you walked, the path they scorned, could have spared them much of their present difficulty. They witnessed the direct outcomes of their own choices, made without the quiet insight you possessed. This realization is more potent than any argument you could have offered, for it arrives from their own experience, undeniable and clear. The discomfort they feel comes from knowing that what they dismissed was precisely what might have protected them from their own missteps, from lost opportunities they now keenly observe. They see clearly how their rush to judgment, their insistence on noise and outward show, led them away from simple, evident truths. Your steady understanding was never about showing off or gaining attention, my child. It simply existed, a clear window through the noise. For those accustomed to hiding behind loud distractions, your quiet clarity was unsettling. It exposed the shaky foundations of their own beliefs, the flimsy excuses they had built. They could not manipulate your clear view with their usual theatrics. Your calm presence cut through their carefully constructed illusions, revealing what they worked so hard to keep hidden, even from themselves. This kind of honesty, unasked for and unadorned, naturally unsettled them. They were not ready for a reality that your wisdom always recognized, a reality unclouded by the constant chatter they relied upon. You did not need to shout to be understood, my precious one, because your grasp of things was not dependent on external validation. Your knowing was a built-in guide, a way to navigate what was unfolding. It was meant to protect your path, to foresee challenges, and to move you forward with gentle certainty. This intrinsic wisdom was not a performance for others. It was a deep, quiet strength for you. Its truth expresses itself in the quiet results, which now stand undeniable before them. Chosen one, you have absorbed these words, understanding the silent power within you. You know how inner stillness outshines empty clamor, how true wisdom needs no external voice to confirm its depth. Your quiet strength is your shield, not your weakness. Therefore, my precious one, carry this knowing forward. Be my messenger. Share this profound understanding with 3 others who seek solace from the noise. Do not break this chain of blessing. Let your light gently guide them. Second, walk with me each day. Return to this source for more wisdom, for quiet guidance. Join the faithful remnant who prioritize genuine presence, finding peace in reflection and unwavering truth. Lastly, my child, affirm this truth. Let your commitment rise from deep within. With pure intent, declare, I receive this peace. I embrace this path. My protective presence shelters you. Go forth, my precious one, anchored in your quiet power, knowing you are always held.